All right, what's up, everybody? My name is Otis Funkmeyer. This is another Q&A. This one is from Juho Kim. What's up, Juho? He says, Otis, really dope video. I got a question about dance. When I practice, I sometimes get a writer's block, except for popping, where I feel like no matter how much I practice, I can't improve. Is this normal? And if it is, how can I address it? Keep doing what you're doing, man. I send support from Korea. The first thing I want to say is an anecdote from Mr. Wiggles. And what he said is that whenever you get writer's block or dancer's block and you just can't seem to do anything, go back to your foundation, which for me would mean go back to the Fresno, just practicing twisto flexes, hitting the neck, just technique kind of stuff. And I've always found that very helpful because you can always get your foundation tighter and your form cleaner, getting your arm, like, see that, like when I put up my arm there, see it's not straight. That could be because of the lens though. It's hard to know. But, work on getting all your angles super clean. Like if you have a tendency for your elbow to be down, like make sure it's up. And I've found also that increasingly, the older I get, I find that if I'm having a bad day and I don't, I just feel like life is pointless or something. Like no matter what I do, it doesn't even matter, right? So why do anything? Which is a really not great place to be in. But I get there sometimes, right? And increasingly over the years, what I've found is that the best thing I can do when I'm in a place like that is try to do chores. Like if there are dishes to do those dishes. If there's laundry to do the laundry. If I have to water some plants, water the plants, right? If I have to mow the lawn, mow the lawn. Like find simple things that don't require any mental effort to do and just do them. Just shut up and you don't have to enjoy it. Put on some music. Just like you can continue thinking everything's pointless, but do stuff anyway, because what I've found is, at least for me, is that those moods come and go. Next thing I know, a friend calls me, I'm hanging out, I'm having a good time. I forgot all about the fact that like 3 hours ago I was thinking life was totally pointless. And now the work is done, which is really good, because in the past what I would do is I go, oh, it's so pointless. Why do anything? And then I'd feel better, but then fuck, I have all this stuff to do, right? So it's like when I start feeling better, now I feel even better because I'm like, oh my God, I feel good, and I did all this work that I had to do that I didn't even really want to do. Because when you're feeling good, you'd rather do fun things, right? So in fact, I often find that when I'm not feeling good, it's actually the perfect time to do things I don't want to do, because I don't really ever want to do laundry personally. I don't really ever want to do various chores, wash dishes or something. But there they are to do, so it's like might as well do them. It's not like I'm not going to enjoy anything anyway. So to bring that back to popping and dancing, if you feel like you're not going to get any better anyway, might as well just practice something. Like that's a good time to like just put on an instructional video or something. And maybe you're wasting your time, right? Who knows? But muscle memory is a real thing. So if you are working on your technique and your form and your foundation, then you will find that you've gotten better, right? There's another theory of learning. Let me see if I can pull this up on, never mind. And it's like plateaus, right? So basically, think growth happens like this. You go up and then it stops, and then it goes like on a line for a while, and then it goes up and then it stops and it goes on a line for a while. The best example of this that we have in the earth is water, right? If you remember like high school chemistry, you learn that, to go from freezing to water, from ice to water, and then water to steam, you have what's called potential energy and kinetic energy, right? So if you want to turn water to steam, there's this whole period of time where the water's heating up, but you look at it and it's still water, right? And what's happening is all this potential energy is being built up. And then at some point, it hits the temperature and steam starts happening. So the interesting thing about being a human, which is why I'm so into philosophy and spirituality and psychology and stuff, is that we are like that too, right? We have our own potential and kinetic energies, but we can't see it. Like, we can measure it with water, and maybe in a future civilization, like in 10 years or 15 years, we'll have all these things that like we swallow and they monitor all these different levels of chemicals, and it'll turn out that we can like measure our own potential and kinetic energy, and we can know, like, we can have some artificial intelligence that tells us like now would be a good time to do your laundry based on your current energy levels, right? Or now would be a good time to do your, practice your dancing. So to sum it up, it's totally normal. It's one of the things that makes life worth it, is the pain and the challenge. Like, just when you think you're getting it, you hit a wall and you're like, no, I just was getting it. Everything was going so well. What is it? But then eventually, hopefully, right? And this is why I've expanded the channel to include more things than just dance, is because I think this stuff is totally important to be a dancer and be a successful human. A successful dancer and a successful human is to see that this is life, right? Like, John Lennon has a quote that life is what happens while you're busy making other plans, right? So while you're thinking that, like, oh, one day I'm going to be good and da-da-da-da-da. No, this is your life right now. And figuring out how to manage your own psychology to live in a way that can handle depression and ecstatic joy and anger and rage and frustration and feeling like a loser and feeling like a pimp and being like a rich person and being a poor person and just having lots of sex and having no sex and all of the various things that can happen over the course of a life, figuring out how to be at peace with that it's just crazy important. And I think that the last thing that I'll say, which I think sums up all of this in one sentence, is before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. Peace out.